Hello, my name is Stephen Stern. I live in Millis, Massachusetts, which is about an hour from Boston. And I've been involved in GMB since 2010 as a very active participant. And in 2015, I became certified as a GMB trainer. My training history before GMB, well, in my 20s, I dabbled in yoga, did some weight training, but my primary form of exercise was running. I've run 10Ks, half marathons. I've done a couple marathons, ran the Boston Marathon in 1987. And my training would go on and off. Sometimes when I was into it, I'd really be into it. And I mean, there's years where I missed maybe 2 or 3 days running per year for a couple years straight. And then I wouldn't exercise much, and I'd get overweight and carry extra 20, 30 pounds. And then I'd get gung-ho and want to start training again, and be primarily running, no stretching, nothing else, just basically running, no strength training at all. And so I had kind of on and off affair with running for many, many years. When I turned 59, I realized I was, again, 20, 30 pounds overweight. I was out of shape, didn't like how I felt or how I looked, and I made a commitment that I wanted to get in shape. By the time I was 60, I wanted to be fit and have the body that I always wanted to have. So at that point, I started walking instead of running. And I also started doing P90X. I did the Insanity videos. I started getting into kettlebells. I was really just gung-ho and really focused and really trained really hard. In hindsight, I could say I overtrained and I'd hurt myself and I'd have to, back off training a little bit. Then I'd really get gung-ho again. And it was just kind of this wheel of really pushing myself really hard. I saw a video online when I was doing research and other exercising, things like that. I saw an advertisement video by Ryan and Jarlo and Andy. And in that video, they were talking about handstands and doing other kind of ring work and body exercises that really intrigued me. And I thought, wow, that looks like fun. And they made it seem very accessible, even for someone my age who was, I was 59 at the time. I think I joined GMB September of 2010, and I turned 60 in November of that year. So I joined GMB, I bought the Rings program. I dabbled in it a little bit, tried to do it on my own. I never was one who could follow a program to the T. I always wanted to add this or take away that or dabble with this or that. And so I dabbled with it, and it was very frustrating. It was just too hard to do. It was just too confusing and too challenging. So I got to put the GMB on the back burner. And then during the winter, I was doing the kettlebell stuff and other things, and I was getting burnt out. It just wasn't fun just to count reps and push my body hard like that. And I was really getting my sweat on. I lost a lot of weight. I started getting fit and strong. I started feeling better about myself, but I was mentally, it just wasn't as stimulating, it wasn't fun. So I decided to set up a phone call with Ryan, who's living in Japan, and we had an hour-long phone call, and we created a personalized training program for myself with his guidance. He asked a lot of great questions, found what I was interested in, and we created a program just for me. And for the next few months, I followed it to a T, and rings were a big part of that. And it's amazing the progress that I made and how much fun I was having. Though I do remember the first time I did the inverted hang or attempted to do the inverted hang, I was just scared shitless, man. It was a scary thing. My body was shaking, and it was really, I was very fearful getting upside down. But I worked through it, and in a matter of a few weeks, I was able to do the inverted hang, and then a lot of other things, top position hold and tucks, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I never even dreamed that I'd be able to do years before that. And also, working like that, it kind of stimulated me to want to work out. It really excited me, and I had fun learning new things like that. I was still doing other things, still running a lot. I still pushed myself with kettlebells, and eventually I kind of hurt myself and I have to back off. But the GMB things were a constant thing that I really enjoyed. There's a part of me that I think I pushed myself so hard because life was so stressful at the time. In late 2011, my wife was diagnosed with a very serious cancer, and her treatment and the chemo and radiation and the recovery from it took years. And I think I used my exercise focus as a way of grounding myself, kind of distract me from this other stress, and to be able to focus on my own sense of well-being. So I really was addicted to get the most out of my body. So I really trained hard, and in hindsight I could see I was really overtraining, and it wasn't the best way to care for my body and to make the best progress I can make.